Albert Einstein once said, you have to learn the rules of the game and then you have to play better than anyone else. Good evening, energetic Toastmasters and enthusiastic guests. I am Toastmaster Shaborni. I am the Sergeant at Arms for the afternoon. I welcome you all to the 123rd meeting of VirtuoMasters Toastmasters Club. Can we have a huge round of applause? To have a smooth meeting, we have some ground rules. Please put yourself on mute when you are not speaking. Do not write anything inappropriate in the chat box. If your video is on, make sure you sit in a proper upright position. We do not talk about sex, religion, or politics in a derogatory manner. I would request you to kindly put your phone on silent mode so that you don't get distracted during the meeting. As everybody in their life has a mission to achieve their goals, likewise, VirtuoMasters Club also has a mission. The mission of our club is to provide a supportive and positive learning environment in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Now, I would like to hand over the podium to someone who is brilliant and entertaining conversationalist. He is none other than the president of our club. Please put your hands together for Toastmasters Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Savorni, for such a wonderful introduction. I welcome you all to the 123rd meeting of VirtuoMasters Club, and I declare the meeting open with a small clap of my hand. Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and future Toastmasters. Now, I hope you all have gone through the minutes of our previous meeting, and given that there has been no rebuttal or anything against it, I consider the minutes of our previous meeting to be passed. Today, friends, I have an important topic to share with you all. It is how we think. You all must be wondering that we think with our brains and we think in our minds, right? Well, that is definitely true. But what about if you think on paper? Now, the reason why I say we should think on paper is so that your thoughts do not get cluttered and piled up one after the other. It helps you to make your to-do list. Whenever a thought pops up in your mind, you can always note it down for future references. But if you just keep that thought at the back of your mind, you might forget it. There has been times when we, forget to wish our friends their birthday on their birthdays. And then 3 or 4 days later on, we realize, oh, it was someone's birthday 3 days ago. So this is the reason why we have a scheduler at VMC where we have jotted down each and every person's birthday. And on that day, we wish that person a very happy birthday. And it is this thinking on paper or maybe thinking on the scheduler or the Excel sheet that has helped us celebrate our birthday for our birthday girl in the house today. Can we all wish Toastmaster Shilpa a very, very happy birthday? Can we all please come on video mode and unmute ourselves and wish?
Happy birthday, Shilpa.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Shilpa.
birthday, Toastmaster Shilpa.
Happy birthday,
Happy birthday,
Toastmaster
Shilpa.
Shilpa. Happy birthday.
Shilpa also said happy birthday, Shilpa.
I would ask Toastmaster Shilpa to please share how special she is feeling today by not giving us the opportunity to attend the workshop. And how did she celebrate her day today?
I'm feeling nice. Honestly, since night, I think I had almost 300 messages, and all this is because of Toastmasters family. So I'm very happy today that I am in Toastmasters. There are so unlimited messages I'm getting since last night. Like I'm so tired saying thank you to everyone that I have to ask Rohan now, who is sharing his birthday with me, that please, yeah, you say thank you in my place also. So yes, I am feeling nice today. I'm enjoying. Now let's see the rest of the day how it goes.
Thank you, Toastmasters Shilpa. And definitely, Toastmasters International is a place where you might come for public speaking, but you stay here for the love that gets showered, for the positivity that we have for each other. Next, moving on, I would like to acknowledge the presence of some of our district dignitaries in the house. First, we have our very own Division J Director, Toastmaster Krishnesh. Thank you, Toastmaster Krish, for being a part of today's meeting. We also have Toastmaster Bharat, Vice President Education of SKTC, that is South Calcutta Toastmasters Club. Can we have a huge round of applause for Toastmaster Bharat? Moving ahead, I would also ask guest Sumit to kindly unmute himself and give a brief introduction about himself, how he came to know about Toastmasters, VirtuoMasters, and what is his expectations.
Yeah, thank you, TM Anurag. So it feels nice, a bit of a Rip Van Winkle effect, because I'd been with Toastmasters many, many years ago. And at the pandemic time, I had taken a break and was focused more on work, and pandemic times were stressful times, of course. And then, of course, I was in the non-Pathways mode earlier. And Pathways wasn't just about being launched that time. And now I want to come back and join because there is no classical mode anymore. There's only Pathways. And just want to get the feel of Toastmasters. Also because virtual Toastmasters gives an opportunity to log in from anywhere you are. That's an advantage. So I think that's a good platform. I came to know through the Toastmasters website, to be honest, and I contacted Krishnesh, I contacted Sheetal, and they gave me an opportunity to join this meeting. So thanks for that. And looking forward to the meeting. Thank you so much. Anything else you'd like to know?
Which club were you a part of earlier?
I was part of City of Joy. I was part of Elite.
Okay, thank you, guest Sumit. It is said that once a Toastmaster, always a Toastmaster,
yeah,
right?
Absolutely.
And for your information, I was also previously part of City of Joy Toastmaster. I had played some executive committee roles in CGTM as well.
Okay.
Glad to see someone from the CGTM family back in the house.
Yeah, likewise. Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you enjoy the meeting today.
Thank you.
Next, I also have two announcements in place. First is that tomorrow we have a trio club meeting. That is, we have a meeting with South Calcutta Toastmasters Club. We also have a meeting with IMI Calcutta Toastmasters Club. Tomorrow at 3 p.m. We'll be using the same Zoom link ID. So do join us tomorrow for a wonderful, wonderful trio club meeting. Another announcement that I have in the house is that next week, that is on 6th August, we will be celebrating our 125th meeting of VirtuoMasters Club. It will be a small event that we'll be organizing, and Toastmasters Shilpa, our birthday girl, will be heading the whole program next week. Now with this, I would like to hand over the podium to the second most handsome person in VirtuoMasters Club, to the second most eligible bachelor in the house, because you all know who is the first. So please help me welcome, with a thunderous round of applause, the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you very much, President Toastmaster Anurag. I will definitely take that as a compliment, not a taunt. So yes, I'm here as the Toastmaster of the day. You people might be wondering that I selected a theme as train journey. It might be a very common theme, but it often strikes us because we have tons of memories in those train journeys. What does it come to my mind or your mind when I talk about train journey? Is it simply having samosas or rabdi from pantry car? I don't think so. Is it simple journey all the way from one destination to another destination? Not for me. It is basically the source from where I get to make lot of memories from the people present within that, or the smell of freshness which I get from every town where the train halts. For me, every train journey has sense of both highs and lows. I try to make the journey interesting because of train journey is the source where you get to make a lot of memories. So when we are talking about memories, I will share a very like nostalgic experience which I had. It was during my winter vacation when I was traveling from Kolkata to New Delhi to visit my relative's place. I got an upper berth in second class AC. I was enjoying the journey with some good songs, and of course, in today's generation, we do lot of binge watching. The train reached the city of Varanasi, which is the temple city, one of the temple cities of India, you can say. Then I saw one old couple boarded the train. As the train moved on, I started interacting with them because I was getting extremely bored because I was the only person in the train. While communicating with the gentleman, like I really got inspired by the way he explained or narrated a story. He mentioned that he has a son who is working in Indian Railways. I congratulated him, saying that it's a very good achievement because cracking central government job is not that easy. Then he said that we were financially not that stable. Still, I took that step of educating my son and get him achieve that thing which he wants to achieve in his life. So that particular statement, the particular story inspired me, and I got a moral that irrespective of your luxuries, irrespective of your money or finance which you have, you don't have to you don't have to be like financially very strong in order to bring happiness to your dear one's face. So with that, like we have various stations in trains in various stations while traveling in a train. Even in Toastmaster meeting, a particular meeting is divided into three sections. The first section is the prepared speech section. Today we have only one prepared speech who will be presenting a speech based on the project and level they are attempting. The second section is the table topic section. In this section, the audience will volunteer to come up to the stage and speak on a topic chosen by the table topic master in an impromptu manner. Third and the most awaited section is the evaluation section. Here a team of evaluators will give their suggestion on every speaker who took the virtual podium. The section will be led by the general evaluator who will share their observations and ideas on what we did well and how the meeting could have been better. Now, going ahead, I would love to call the general evaluator, but when I asked him what he actually thinks about train journey, he mentioned it is all about getting down at random station and having a glimpse of beautiful small stations. Yes, that's very obvious. That was a very good point mentioned by the general evaluator. So let us welcome the general evaluator of the day, my mentor, one of the kindest person in the Toastmaster fraternity, Toastmaster Krishnesh Nayak. Let us have a huge round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Abhijit, for that wonderful introduction and such lovely words for me. Friends, as the general evaluator for today, my role would be to notice everything that happens in today's meeting, be it how the roles are played or how the speakers perform when they take the stage. That being said, because so many things will be happening in this meeting, I have a group of people who will be helping me in this task. To start off, I have a timer that is being played by Toastmaster Seema. I request the timer to please state her role and explain what she's planning to do for us. Toastmaster.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good afternoon, Toastmasters and dear fellows and dear guests. I will keep track of time for prepared speech section, table topic section, and also for evaluation section. For prepared speech section, the time limit is 5 to 7 minutes. For evaluation, the time limit is 2 to 3 minutes. And for table topic, the time limit is 1 to 2 minutes. There is a grace period of 30 seconds for both upper and lower side for both prepared speech section and evaluation section. And there is only 30 seconds only on the upper side for the table topic session. I'm going to share my screen. I will show green card at the minimum time, yellow card at the mean time, and red card at the maximum time. And I will keep on showing the red card until the speaker stops his or her speech. Thank you, and back to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Seema, for that crisp mention of your role. Next, I have my R counter that is going to be played by our Sergeant at Arms, Toastmaster Shaborni Nandi. Toastmaster Shaborni, if you could please explain your role for us.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am Toastmaster Shaborni, and today I will be playing the role of R counter. My role as R counter is to pay close attention to the catch words and filler sounds used by the speakers. Catch words like and, so basically. Filler sounds are ah. Whenever a speaker uses the catch words and filler sounds more than 4 times, I will say used multiple times. I would also keep note of long pauses and inappropriate interjections. I urge all the speakers not to use the catch words or filler sounds. I will present my report when called upon to do so by the General Evaluator at the end of the meeting. All the best to the speaker. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Shaborni. I would request you to please especially keep a tab of my usages of long pauses. Thank you. My final soldier, already count is increasing. The final person in my team is the grammarian for today, and that role is being played by Toastmaster Anupam, one of the youngest persons in our club. Toastmaster Anupam, if you could please explain your role.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and dear guests. I am Anupam Sangai, and today I am playing the role of grammarian. Just 2 minutes. Sorry, everyone, as I am suffering from fever, so my throat is.
It's okay.
I am Anupam Sangai, and today I am playing the role of grammarian. My role as a grammarian is to pay attention to the good and not good uses of English and provide suggestion for improvement. I would like to introduce the word of the day, which can help you to enrich your vocabulary. The word of the day is jabber, meaning to talk in a noisy or excited manner. Example, she got herself fired by using the office phone to jabber to a friend all day. I would encourage all the speakers to use this word as many times as possible. Whoever uses this word will be rewarded with an applause. And I will present my report at the end of the meeting when called upon by the general evaluator to do so. Over to you, general evaluators.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anupam, for taking up a role given the health condition you are in. Thank you very much. With that, I would like to hand the stage back to our Toastmaster today, Toastmaster Abhijit, to continue the session. Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you, General Evaluator Krishnesh and his army for explaining their role in a meticulous and crispy way. And I hope I won't jabber much as Toastmaster of the day today. Now, coming to the theme, just like before we go on a train journey, we do a lot of preparation, like check our confirmation status, and keep checking if the train is running on time, going through what all, like we need to check whether we are packing our stuffs properly. We need to keep checking the availability of cabs like Ola, Uber, etc. Similarly, in a prepared speech session, we will have a speaker who has prepared for their speech. They will build a speech for weeks. They will match it to the objectives of the project. They will discuss with the mentor on how to improve it. They will practice in front of mirror and sometimes even record a trial run if required. Now, I would love to call the evaluator of our first speaker. When I asked him as what he feels about train journey, he gave a very philosophical statement saying that he gets to know how big the world is by traveling. That was a very intense statement mentioned. Now, before the speaker starts, I would request the evaluator of our speaker, Toastmaster Anurag, to kindly share the speech objectives. Over to you, Toastmaster Ayush. My bad.
The purpose of this project is to learn or review basic methods for writing a speech with a defined purpose and to present a well-organized speech on any topic. Timer, please note the time limit of the speech is 5 to 7 minutes. Thank you. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you very much, evaluator Toastmaster Ayush. Now coming to the speaker, when I asked Toastmaster Shruti, who is the speaker for the day, what is her views regarding train journey, she said that she gets the idea of writing poems during her train journey. And she also mentioned that through Toastmaster, she is able to create that thoughtful retreats from tedious life. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Toastmaster Shruti with speech title, Growing the Better Way. Toastmaster Shruti, over to you.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters, General Evaluator, and dear guests. My father once said, stick to one thing, because if you fail in that thing, there is no going back. I have never seen people get up after failing that bad. No doubt he was stressing on the fact that I should focus on my strengths. But wasn't he also reinforcing the idea that once a failure, always a failure? This took me back 10 years into my school, where we students were informally divided into two groups. One, the academically brilliant, but socially conscious, and not so good at sports and some other extracurricular activities. Group two, academically okay, but great sports people and often bullies. Group one's target was to achieve the next A and prove to the world that is where their future lay. Group two believed that mugging up for the exam 2 days before would do the trick, and the rest would just follow. I was amongst the group one people. I had given into the belief that the next A was my sole target. If I was not able to earn it, I was useless. I felt challenged whenever I could not do so. I would feel that it is not worth the effort. So much so that when once I got a 63 on 80 in a math exam, I howled in class. I blamed the teacher that he had cut my marks deliberately and that he was not a good enough teacher instead of realizing my own mistakes. So, have you ever been in such a situation, fellow Toastmasters, where something in which you have been very good at since quite a long time, and then you end up not doing so well in it? How did you feel then? Inept? Incapable? Not worth the effort? Have you felt threatened by someone who just overtook you all of a sudden after having never done as good as you? Well, you and I are in the same boat. We are in the fixed mindset trap. Fixed mindset trap asks us to believe that we have to continuously prove ourselves. Life is not made for learning. Life is not made for improving, but to keep on getting that next high. Fixed mindset tells us that we are among two categories of people. One is the natural, the other not natural. If we are a natural in something, we would put effort into it. And if we aren't, we wouldn't. I was the same. So I would put hours and hours into solving the maths problem so that I could do really well and prove myself in the class. There you go, topper course. Or I would paint for weeks and weeks so that I could ace the next competition. But what would I tell them when they would ask me, how have you done this? I just prepared 2 months in advance, 2 weeks in advance, nothing else, just a cup of cake for me. Yes, growth mindset does not accolade effort. It assumes that if you have to put effort into something, it's just not worth it. So long as I was in my previous school, it did not matter. Because in all of the competitions that was needed, my name would be put up by the teachers themselves. I was the teacher's pet after all. But once I changed my school, it was a tragic accident. Then I was amongst the 3 new students who had joined that particular year. And I had to navigate through the politics of student council to put my name into even a small competition. Guess what? That year, I could not manage to participate in anything. Do you know how my phone calls last? Hello, Archita, could you please give me your notes? Yeah, sure, I will give it to you. My dad has always stressed on the fact that I should not make phone calls look like I'm doing a favor to a particular person. And I had never applied that to my life. But considering that this time I was not even able to participate in a competition, my goal was to definitely improve my communication skills. So I started off with reading a book by Dale Carnegie called How to Influence Friends and How to Win Friends and Influence People. Smile at people, appreciate them, make the conversation about them and not you. Who would be the guinea pig in this particular experiment of mine? Well, the school people. After all, I am talking to all of them the first time, right? So there you go. I started off. That year, I finally managed to talk to a particular person for half an hour straight. Big achievement for me. Then that year, I put my name into 4 competitions. 1 I got recommended in, 2 I aced, 1 I failed miserably. But the biggest of all, I finally made friends in a school that I was extremely lonely. Now that I had understood what miracles a growth mindset could work, my duty was to pass this on to every person that I could meet and every person I could mentor. No one should be the victim of a fixed mindset. So in my 3rd year of graduation, I was presented with a child of 15 years who had failed 3 consecutive years in maths. I had decided I would not take up a student because I had to show, look, A, and that's my contribution. No, I had to make a definite improvement in that particular boy. That boy was particularly shy. Vedant was an amazing dancer. He would train for 4-5 hours every day so that he could master a step and look like Prabhudeva or Hrithik Roshan. He had managed to reduce his weight by 20 kgs in an year. And I had not seen a 15-year-old boy do that. He knew what effort meant. right? So I encouraged him to participate in competitions so that he could get over his shyness. He started participating and the bullying in school reduced too, because he was not that kid who failed in maths. He was the one who did well at dancing. Gradually, he started participating in the competitions. And then that particular year, with the aid of his teacher, he finally managed to pass that particular maths exam. I was so proud. Thomas Alva Edison once said, opportunities are usually missed because they come in the garb of overalls of hard work. Let us not shun hard work. Let us not let us not chase the next A. Let us chase being resilient. Let us also know that growth mindset is not something that we are born with, but something that we can grow. Let's grow a growth mindset. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day. Thank you.
Let's have a big round of applause for Toastmaster Shruti. That was an excellent speech, Toastmaster Shruti. You mentioned about maths. So basically you mentioned that you secured 63 out of 80 and you howled in the classroom. Basically, when I used to get 32 out of 80 also, I used to ask for treat from my father that I have passed, please give me a treat. That was a great speech. Thank you, Toastmaster Shruti. Now, so yes, going forward, at one point of time, we often have that like adventurous feeling traveling by train. Again, because we assure ourselves that we can make a lot of memories within that environment. Asking for extra cup of curd from pantry employee, engaging with co-passenger regarding seat reservation, etc. Having said that, I want to ask my fellow audience that what is the most sweetest or any funniest memories while traveling in a train? If you have any, please share. Yes, Toastmaster Shruti.
So once I was traveling in a train and the person who was sitting on the next berth, he had the loudest snore on the planet. So no one in the entire compartment could sleep. Now my mother was a very big talker. She could get into conversation with anyone. So she asked his wife how they managed to sleep every night. So her very nice solution was that they fall asleep before that particular man fell asleep. That's it.
Wow, that was really funny. Like, yeah, snoring can be an issue. Like even I have experienced that. So it's like we cannot tolerate that while traveling on train. Yes.
I have a recording of the snore as well.
Oh, really? You should record songs. Why snore? Anyways, any more volunteers who want to share their experience? Toastmaster Anupam, Toastmaster Anupam, you want to share something?
Is a bad luck or what? Whenever I travel in train, means next to my seat, I always see that there is one person, one lady carrying a baby, which cries whole night. And sometimes when my seat is in waiting list, and it gets confirmed in next day when my when they I have to catch my train, then I get a seat in near to the gate, which keeps opening, closing, and makes noise whole time at the night. The baddest part during my travel.
All right, thank you. And you said that you get a seat near the door. I hope that is not sleeper class. Okay.
Near third AC or second AC, like that door gets open and get close and makes noise.
All right. Thank you for sharing your views. Anybody else? Yes, Dr. Rupesh.
I can recall just few years back It's a story of Jan Satabdi when I used to go. That time I was in PwC, I believe. At that time, I used to have only one black color suit, and that has some problem. So I carried that and it kept in the rack. One fine Bengali gentleman came, and somehow he took that and thrown away because he thought this is my seat and I have only right to keep all that, even if it's a three-seater, right? I told, what are you doing? You know, it's a suit. You can't do like this. I don't know what he understood. Again, we argued, and then he told, "Metha bhenge debo." Then that time my Bengali was not, good. I thought, how can your head get injured if its suit will fall? So every time I was hearing "Metha bhenge debo, metha bhenge debo," again, he started fighting. Somehow people came, we realized, and till that time after this, like this he was doing. Then I realized something. Then I called my brother and loudly say one person is when I'm reaching Jamshedpur this time, please come with 3-4 people. And after that he realized something is going to happen. Then he melted on. So then nothing happened after that. What I realized, the train stopped. That guy was the first to go out because he was realizing somebody will come again, biggest fight will happen. So this type of story also, I don't know, a lot of people experience, not experience. But that day, then I later realized Mathe bhenge debo means your head, I'll break your head. So not it get injured. So this was a learning from that whole incident.
Thank you, Dr. Rupesh. Yeah, you often face such rude or cruel co-passengers while traveling. So I always check in the list whether I have some people who are at the age of 50, 60, and they should not, like, their name should not sound like rude. So I often make sure that this doesn't happen. So thank you for sharing your views. Now let's come to the next session. It's the most exciting session, which is the table topic session in a Toastmaster meeting. Just like a train journey where you may have to do something impromptu, like exchanging our seat with an auntie who needs your lower berth, or deciding to start having a conversation with a talkative kid, or sharing a meal with a family that is traveling with you. Similarly, in Toastmasters, we do things impromptu. For this, I would love to call upon the table topic master, but before that, I would love to call the table topic evaluator for the day, Toastmaster Anurag. Now, when I asked Toastmaster Anurag that what is the most memorable train journey he had, he mentioned he does love train journey, especially he loves traveling through terrains from rivers to farmlands to hills. So let's welcome Toastmaster Anurag as the table topic evaluator of the day. Over to you, Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster Abhijit. I hope I will not jabber a lot today, and I also hope our table topic master today will not be jabbering more than required. But he has to jabber, given that the purpose of his project is to demonstrate his or her ability to listen to what others say. I hope our table topic master keeps us entertained and jabbers a bit after each and every speaker. With this note, I give it back to our most handsome Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhijit.
Thank you, cutest Toastmaster Anurag. Now, coming to the table topping master, when asked about one of the memorable train journey of his, he replied, he also had that nostalgic touch. He mentioned mentioned that he missed those long trips with munching in peanuts on board and enjoying the scenic beauty of agriculture. So put your hands together for one of my closest friend in Toastmasters, Toastmaster Bharat, as table topic master of the day.
Can we keep it going for our Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhijit? Thank you so much, Toastmaster Abhijit. And I can say for sure that he is one of the gregarious person I have ever met in Toastmasters. So you are doing a quite Good job. All right, ladies and gentlemen, for the benefit of the guests, I will be reiterating the rules of table topic master. So I will be the table topic master, and I will be presenting you the impromptu topics that in which you have to speak for 1 to 2 minutes. So the benefits of table topics is that it will help you to sharpen your listening, thinking, organizing, and speech delivery skills. So for the benefit, so I request each one of you to also use the word of the day, which is jabber. And I will be not jabbering a lot as mentioned by Toastmaster Anurag beforehand only. And can I get some volunteer, please? All right, we already have one volunteer. Is it Toastmaster Bismoy?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Let me share my screen, sir. Okay, I'm requesting you to select topic from 1 to 5.
4.
So this table topic session is quite unusual, that you don't have to speak on the topic, just you have to make it quite humorous. Like humor is something which we feel more fearful about in any part of our life. So you have to make it more challenging for each one of us, we will be speaking on humor. This I have to say it on the beforehand, but I'm telling you right now. So you have to speak on the humor. You have to take a humorous take on it for the 1 to 2 minutes. All right. So that your topic is Toastmaster Bismoy, the most embarrassing moment of your life. The most embarrassing moment of your life, Toastmaster Bismoy.
Well, the most embarrassing moment of my life was when I met my wife for the first time. So just to highlight myself, like mine was an arranged marriage. So I have seen my wife photos in like in the website and all, but I never met her. I just spoken to her. So I was expecting by looking at the photo, like I was expecting a bit healthy person and like something. I was visualizing something else in my mind. But first time when I met, so we actually she came from all the way from Delhi, and I met her in like Bangalore station. So first time I met, I was expecting somebody else, and when the train actually stopped in the station, so there was a girl who was coming down. So my parent was also with me. So I just went and asked that person, "How was your trip?" and hope you are not tired and all. Then that lady actually was talking, "Who are you? Like, have you met any time before?" Then I was like asking, and then I again checked with her, like, hope you are not you have you not forgotten me? Like, we are supposed to marry, right? Then, but she keep on insisting, like, I have that we have never chatted. This is the first time we are chatting, and I was like completely puzzled. Then suddenly my father, who was also with me, he is shouting in the back, like, "Bisma, come here, come here." I thought, like, why my father is shouting? I am with the girl whom I am supposed to meet, and I am supposed to marry this girl. Then I realized after me, somebody is like knocking me from my back. Then when I moved back, I can see another lady, and this was supposed to be my wife, not the one who just came down from the train. And the photo what was I seen and what she was, like, completely different. So I was surprised, also embarrassed at that moment, that I didn't realize who will be my wife, like my actual wife will be, and it was very embarrassing moment. So I cannot. So everybody like laughed at me, but at that time I was like very silent. I could not express my feelings. So that was my most embarrassing moment, and that's all. And over to you.
That was great take, Toastmaster Bismoy, and that proves that looks are deceptive, right? And we should not. I pray for each one of us that we will not have such moments in our life, that we are going to have we are going to see someone and we are talking to someone else. So I also had a one embarrassed moment in my life that there was in a meeting, the word of the day was something else, and I have said something else. So it was a quite, it made a fun of me. So it was an embarrassing moment for me. So could I have someone else as a volunteer, please? All right. Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh. Are you ready, sir?
Done.
All right. So choose a number between 1 to 5
One.
plus 4. Okay.
1.
Let's see what fate has for you. The funniest rumor you have heard about yourself. Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh, the funniest rumor you have heard about yourself. The funniest rumor you have heard about yourself. Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh.
My dear fellow Toastmaster, would-be Toastmaster in virtual forum. The funniest moment which I heard about myself. I can recall my childhood days when generally I believe, I don't know how many of you from that old era, when you used to do Saraswati Puja. Okay, then we gather 3, 4 people, 5 people, start collecting the contributions. After that, and I got nominated as a president of that committee. This was good. And later, then pamphlet got printed. We started distributing. A thing was, I was told that because you're a president of this committee and you have n number of power, now you can go to, now you are only the guy who can go to visit the local police station, and you have that power. Because you're a president, you have a lot of power. And definitely people were talking about, and they are saying, okay, he's a new guy. So just, they were making fun about me. But when my father got to know he's a president, he went to police station and he argued with the station master or police station master, with the police inspector. Like, this is the club, I want this kind of facility, this. And everyone believed, yes, he's a talkative guy, he might have done that. And when I entered in the house, my father, you went to police station? I told, yes. Without even a second thought, he was in Tata Steel security. He used to wear the belt, leather belt. And then I started getting beating. I was totally shocked why I am getting beaten. Then he told later, my mother told, because you went to police station, you argued. Well, I never visited police station. I was going around there. That was the rumor. Even all around the family was knowing, and I was getting beaten. I believe the biggest rumor, because of that, I got beaten by Tata Steel belt. I can recall each and every time. And today is a fun, but that time it was not. What do you think, table topic master?
Absolutely, you nailed it, sir. Thank you so much. That was an amazing take. Okay, moving ahead. Can we have some more volunteers, guys? Yeah. All right. We have Toastmaster Shima. Hi, ma'am. How are you?
Oh, I'm good. Thank you so much. On the onset, I just want to apologize that I will not be able to turn on my video
Okay,
because I've got some commotion going on over here.
It's okay, ma'am.
Thank you.
Ma'am, could you please select a number?
Okay, apparently 2 is supposed to be my lucky number, so I think I'll go for that.
Okay. Toastmaster Shima, the worst advice you have ever got. The worst advice you have ever got. Toastmaster Shima.
Thank you, Table Topic Master. We all depend on advice almost at any point of time in our lives, because based on advice, we tend to move forward. But as we all know, there are good advices and not so good advices. Well, I was a victim to a not so good advice a few decades ago. That was immediately after I graduated. And the advice given to me at that time was, do not have a career, settle in life first. Now, people might think that, okay, this was decades ago, so the mindset was different. But this advice really hurt me because it came from my own mother. Now, why I say that it hurt me is because my mother herself was a career lady at her time and highly educated. So she put in all her time and effort to get me educated. And finally, at the end of it, she's telling me, do not go in for a career, go in for a marriage, settle down in life, and then move ahead. At that point of time, I considered it the worst advice, but I had no choice. Although I tried to throw tantrums, I argued with her left, right, and center, but still she won. She put her foot down and she said, the reason I'm telling you this, you will realize one day. Well, as it went on, I decided to settle on in life. And unfortunately, I went into a family who did not believe in having a career. But at the same time, I put my foot down and decided, yes, I will have a career as a homemaker. Now, everybody might laugh thinking that what is so great? I mean, you don't get paid as a homemaker. So what is the career? But believe me, like how my mother told me, one day you will realize, ladies and gentlemen, one day you too will realize the worth of being a homemaker. And it might not necessarily be the worst advice in your life. Over to you, Table Topic Master.
That was really, really great. And I was awestruck by your take, Toastmaster Shima. Though it was a humorous table topic session, but you have made it to the, what would I say, that you have inspired each one of us to know that the importance of females in our life and in our family. So thank you so much and kudos to you for that.
Thank you.
All right. Moving ahead, we will have Toastmaster Shashwat, and after that, we will have guest Sumit. So, Toastmaster Shashwat, are you ready? Okay.
Ready.
All right. There is a lag. No worries. Choose a number between 3 and 5.
5.
Okay. Toastmaster Shashwat, if your friend, I'm reiterating it once again. This should be humorous take. This should be this is a humorous table topic session, right? If your best friend would be an animal, who would it be? Toastmaster Shashwat, if your best friend could be an animal, who would it be?
Ladies and gentlemen, if I had to tell you all that one of my friends has the particular opportunity of becoming an animal in life, I would say that he would be a snake. Now, you might think that, okay, Shashwat has chosen a snake, the topic is getting very serious. But let me tell you all that why that particular person is a snake. Now, raise of hands of those of you who've seen Bagban. Now, my parents watched that movie as if once the movie finishes, I'm just going to show them the door. So that is how they watched that movie. That, okay, this movie shouldn't end. Mr. Bachchan, keep on talking. So I once watched that particular movie and I came up with a theory that there's a very big loophole in that particular movie. So I went to my best friend and I told him that. And he said, Shashwat, you're absolutely right. Just go and tell it to your parents and they will also appreciate. So I went up to my dad. I was like, Dad, you like Bagban, right? Yes, I do. But don't you think that there's a very big problem in that movie? What is the problem? It's such a good movie. See, I realized Amitabh Bachchan has 4 sons. And all of them are pretty useless in life. So it could have been that Amitabh Bachchan failed as a father. 2 minutes of silence. And 3 slaps later, I went back to my best friend. And he was like, Shashwat, I told you, don't tell it to your father. I mean, who does that? Like, just about 2 hours back, you looked me in the eye and you said, go and tell it to your father. And I told him. Ladies and gentlemen, this is one of the myriad examples that I have had in life. But the best thing is that no matter all the misery and all the torment that he's caused in my life, he is still an extremely amazing friend. And I know that whenever push comes to shove, he will always have my back. And that is the true essence of friendship, that no matter how much of misery we can cause in each other's life, we will always be there for each other. What do you think, the Table Topics Master?
That was a really, really great take again, Toastmaster Shashwat. And that was a picture perfect table topic. What would I say? That opening, body, and conclusion. You have ended with the message. So kudos to you. Thank you so much for taking up. Next, I would like to call guest Sumit. I would say future Toastmasters Sumit.
Sure, I can hear you. Yeah, thank you. Yeah, so I
Okay.
think one topic, right?
Yep. Final, you don't have any choice. Okay. Guess Sumit. Describe yourself as a food item. Describe yourself as a food item. Guess Sumit.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, this one is pretty interesting because I'm a foodie and I love to cook. So imagine a situation where it's the hot day and tempers are high and it's sweltering heat, and you actually got to fry chola bhaturas in oil, and you come up and it expands to a absolutely brilliant, crispy, baked bhatura in front of you, and a person who's hungry goes and smashes it, puts a hole and puts in the gravy of the chola in it. That's like a big brother of a pani puri. You put so much effort to put all the steam in the oil to rise to the huge bhatura that you were, and then ultimately someone gashes it and has and enjoys it. But the silver lining is ultimately you are the complete food item, because it's the chutneys and the bhatura and the chola when combined that goes into somebody's mouth and then gives them a satiating feel. And of course, not to forget, once you're having chola bhatura, how can you leave out jabbering? Because you would be jabbering with the person in front of you who's going to praise the food as spicy, as sweet, as very, very nice. Because when you're hungry, even onions taste good. But this is chola bhatura, and you spend so much effort in rising to the occasion and becoming a part of somebody's meal. So I would say that chola bhatura is, of course, my personal favorite. I can cook it. I have cooked it a week back, but ultimately it is something that I feel is a food item that would satiate somebody's plate at any time. Food is a journey, and food is about understanding how the cultural aspects of the country are and how much food variety we have in the country. But ultimately, the effort that goes into making the food is much greater than the effort that goes into eating it. So when you're taking the next bite, anytime, anywhere, appreciate the effort of all those people that have actually made that food good. So next time around you see a chola bhatura, do remember that we did discuss it in this meeting. And that's my take on it. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Shumit and future Toastmaster Shumit. And that clearly suffice that once a Toastmaster is always a Toastmaster. And every time I will be having next time I will be having the chola bhatura and I will be remembering Toastmaster Shumit. All right. So would anybody would like to volunteer? I have ended my table topic section. If and we have time, Toastmaster Anurag, can we take one more?
Yes, definitely.
Okay. Can I have some more volunteer? One more, last one. It should be something different. It will be something different. It will not be a humorous take. It will be like you, for the 1 minute, you have to speak for the motion, and after 1 minute, you have to speak against the motion. This last one. Who would like to take the challenge? Khatro ke khiladi, let's see. Toastmaster Chitri, are you there? I would like to hear you. It's been a long time. Okay, I guess there is some lag from his end.
If there's nobody willing to take it, I can take it.
No. We would be keeping you as a backup table topic. All right, Toastmaster Ayush. So this final one would be Toastmaster Ayush. This final topic would be like you have to take you have to speak for 1 minute for the motion, and after that you have to speak against the motion, and the rest 30 seconds you have to just come up on your stand, right? So Toastmaster Ayush, feminism is a lie. Feminism is a lie, Toastmaster Ayush.
Well, is it? Is it a lie? Well, looking at Rima's face, it makes me more confusing. But yes, I believe that it's a lie, because whenever they want something, and whenever the community wants something in their motion, they take the help of feminism. But whenever whenever they're secured about it, and they put it as that feminism is a lie. Sometimes it makes me confused what to do. But in all, I have seen with many examples that it's always upon the person who always about the event. For example, like the gender gap between men and women in the pay gap between men and women in professional in a professional environment. It's always the saying of feminism that the gap is low, the pay is low. Yeah, so like for example, I can only remember Chris saying one day that he was quiet throughout the meeting when he was doing the first table topic, and that was the most embarrassing day. And it was a growth mindset thereafter.
No worries, Toastmaster Ayush. That was a really fortitude. I could say that I could challenge that fortitude you have taken. Nobody was raising his hands except from Toastmaster Shashwat. So kudos to you. And obviously, I do believe that feminism is a lie.
No,
All
after
right.
hearing the topic, I'm glad Toastmaster used to it.
All right. So with this, I would be wrapping up my table topic session, and over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster.
Thank you very much, Table Topic Master, Toastmaster Bharat, for that wonderful session. And heartiest congratulations to all the brave volunteers for speaking impromptu. Now we move to the third part of the meeting, the evaluation section, which is similar to how after we finish our train journeys, we evaluate the trip. Should I have eaten biryani, or should I have avoided that? Or should I have carried an extra pack of chips? Should I taken an extra pillow from the attendant, etc. Having said that, please welcome our general evaluator to take a deeper look at our train journey meeting. Over to you, general evaluator, Toastmaster Krishnesh.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Abhijit, for that wonderful journey that you have taken us through. And I thoroughly enjoyed all these sections, and this being one of my most favorite sections where we all get to learn from the previous two sections. Let's get to it. To start off, let me call upon the evaluator for our prepared speaker, Toastmaster Ayush, to please present his evaluation. Toastmaster Ayush.
Thank you, General Evaluator. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. It's a quote by Mark Twain, and that's what came into my mind when you were giving the speech, Toastmaster Shruti. Toastmaster Shruti, you delivered your speech with full confidence, and I liked it. You were standing up, you were not sitting down, and I could see you properly. There was proper eye contact throughout your speech, and there was clarity. You presented examples, you gave quotes at the end of the speech, and I could understand each and everything. You're not jabbering about it, you were giving your examples. So this was good part. Another thing is you had a proper opening, body, and conclusion. In the opening, you mentioned about your father. You set the stage with saying that the fixed mindset is if one person fails, it will always fail again. And the body, you gave example of yourself that you scored good marks in maths, but still were not happy about it. And in the conclusion, you ended with a quote. In fact, during in the body, you mentored whether the growth mindset, you were not interested in your growth mindset, but your mentor growth mindset as well, so that your mentor Vedant would improve. Now I would like to focus on some of the recommendations which I have for you. I couldn't see any hand movement throughout the speech. While maybe the camera angle was in such a way that the hand movement was not visible. Second, you mentioned that your mentor, your mentee was a good dancer, and you mentioned Hrithik Roshan. And if you could do some like one step like this or any step, it would have created an impact. He was a good dancer. And third, when you scored, you mentioned that you scored 60 on 80. In fact, I would have been happy even if I got 50 marks. But you mentioned, you were speaking that you were furious, but I couldn't see the expression in your face that you were furious about it. And you howled to the teacher regarding this. So if you could put an angry expression at that time and disappointed expression with your marks, so it would have been more visible to the crowd. You also mentioned that you took 10 years back. So if you could step back from where you're standing in the camera on the spot, if you could go back a bit so that the audience would have realized that it's 10 years back. It was very fast. You just took it like you were saying something. All in all, I have one more recommendation that the expression were not there when you're talking about your mentor. The expression was not there that he achieved something. So all in all, there was proper eye contact. The main objective of the speech was it would have one focus. The growth mindset was throughout the speech. There were good opening and body and conclusion. But if you could work on your hand movements, your expressions, and then it would have become a really good speech. Thank you. Over to you, General Evaluator of the Day.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Ayush, for that evaluation. I'm fully convinced that you were really listening to her speech intently. Toastmaster Shruti, to add to what Toastmaster Ayush said, I know about the challenges for standing at such close quarters with your laptop, but if you could take into considerations what Toastmaster Ayush said, I think it will be a much better speech when you come onto the stage next. Especially if something I can highlight from where you were standing. I know that you had a lot of hand gestures in your speech, but because it was below your midriff, you were not able to see it. Sometimes we used to see some tons of hands coming up, but had we seen from your torso up, it would have been a lot better. Apart from that, I think you did wonderfully well, especially in terms of rehearsing your speech, knowing your content well, and knowing how much time you are going to take for your speech. So I think you are very well prepared, and I hope to see you again doing much better again. Toastmaster Ayush, in your evaluation, I was hoping to see that when you say, I saw good examples, where did you see them? That is something that you have to say. Not only in your recommendations, I saw that in some parts of your recommendation, but not when you were giving the commentations. That is something which you can do. Similarly, when you're giving your evaluation, pay close attention to sentences that start with, I saw this or I felt this during your speech, rather than you did this, or start sentences that start with you. So we have to focus on the content and not the speaker. One more thing that you can work on is figure out a way to not use the word but when it comes to recommendation, because no matter how much nice words I say about you, Anurag, you are the most smartest guy, you're the most handsome guy. But he knows that once I say but, all those compliments are gone. So that's why I don't use but. So Anurag, you're a handsome guy, you're a cute guy, and sometimes you are late to meetings. So he doesn't take it as a, he takes all three as a compliment. Eh? That's one thing. Thank you, Anurag, for being a sport. I know you won't mind. So that being said, Toastmaster Ayush, I think you're really growing as one of the evaluators who speakers can turn to when it comes to figuring out how to improve ourselves. I thank you for taking up this role. Next, I would like to call upon the table topic Masters Evaluator to evaluate his project. For that, I would like to call upon Toastmaster Anurag to present his evaluation. Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Sir General Evaluator. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Excellence is doing ordinary things extraordinarily well. And today our table topic master, Toastmaster Bharat, has completely embodied each and every word that I just said. Kudos to you, Toastmaster Bharat, for taking up the table topic masters session in such a creative and a different manner. Toastmaster Bharat, this was the first time that I saw people using this kind of technique to showcase the table topics to each and every table topic speaker. It was something new to me. So kudos to you, Toastmaster Bharat, for that. The second thing, Toastmaster Bharat, is that you followed the conventions. You thanked the Toastmaster of the day. You explained the rules. You encouraged people to use the word of the day. You also used the word of the day yourself. And you also followed the naming convention of Toastmaster, speech topic, Toastmaster. A job well done on your part, Toastmaster Bharat. Third thing that I loved about your session today is that you also had a line or two after each and every speaker, which shows that you have listened to each and every table topic speaker actively and with full intent. However, Toastmaster Bharat, I do feel that you could have done a bit more justice when it came to encouraging the members of the table topic speakers. For example, when Toastmaster Bismoy gave back the podium, you related a personal story with the topic. It was a job well done on your end. However, after that, when Dr. Rupesh or Toastmaster Rupesh had delivered his table topic, you didn't speak as much, or you didn't speak any personal story in reference to what Dr. Rupesh has said. Now, what happens is when I evaluate a person, or when I speak good things about 2 to 3 different people, I need to keep in mind that if I am appreciating someone way more and the other person a bit less, then that other person might not feel that encouraged or excited. So Toastmaster Bharat, maybe this is something that you could look after. The next place where you could improve is that you could have asked everyone to switch on their video mode. This would have improved your interaction with the audience, the connect with the audience. And third, maybe the topics that you had chosen could have been more in line with the contest topics that we have. Although I loved the topics that you had, but this is a place where you might improve upon in your next table topic session, Toastmaster Bharat. All in all, I thoroughly enjoyed it. It was a very creative table topic session today. You followed all the conventions perfectly well. You also had something to speak about after every speaker. Maybe you could just give equal encouragement to every speaker, every table topic speaker, and ask everyone to come on video mode. Maybe that is how you could make your table topic sessions much better. Thank you, and over to you, Mr. General Evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Anurag, for that evaluation of the table topic master's role for the project that Toastmaster Bharat was attempting. Toastmaster Bharat, if I were to add to what Toastmaster Anurag said, and this is more of a recommendation and getting straight to it, because I know you would rather prefer me ripping the band-aid off. I understand that when you came in with topics, you were also prepared with how you would talk about those topics. right? So instead of bringing those out, I would suggest you to listen to what a speaker speaks on the particular topic and add to that. There were some speeches in which you were able to do that, and in some speeches you fell back on something that you had already prepared about what you would have said for this particular topic. Both ways, it shows the audience that you are fully involved. Great. But when it comes to a bigger audience, or when it comes to a setting where, let us say, in office, or in a where there is more than 50-60 people, there you will have to show it more that you are actually listening to the speaker. So that is something that you can try. Otherwise, I thought you were really good with not only managing how you were getting the volunteers. You waited for that extra second or two to get that last volunteer from Toastmaster Ayush. Had it been me in your place, I would have said, okay, since no one is attempting, let's close the session. But I really loved how you were not uncomfortable with silence. You ensured somebody eventually raised their hand. So lots of points for that. Thank you. Going now to the speakers of table topic session. If I were to summarize as to where you all did well, I think all the speakers who came onto the stage were very good with understanding the topic. All of you spoke on the topic, and I would like to give the credit of the kind of topics that were given to you by the table topic master that allowed all of you to come out with personal anecdotes for each and every topic. So that is the best way to approach a table topic attempt, by sharing personal anecdotes and then deriving a message out of that. Now that I talk about message, there were some speakers who did not come out with a message at the end, right? So Bismoy Das, you had a fantastic speech. You were on point. What was the most embarrassing moment of your life? You gave a fantastic anecdote. You had the audience laughing along with you. They were enjoying your embarrassment, sad to say. But had you ended it with a message like embarrassing stories also make for good memories. So that is, that cements your speech fully. Similarly, another good attempt was by Toastmaster Shashwat Sharma. Excellent personal anecdote. He related how the snake was his friend. But when he gave his message that he is still a friend and he will back me no matter what. So how is that trait relevant to a snake? Had you tied that around, if you could have said that, it's just like that snake which is around that mythological thing where they're pulling the Hindu, that Amrit thing. So, he holds on to me like that, then that would really tie it up, and it would have been a contest winning attempt. Other than that, I think I would like to give a special mention to Toastmaster Ayush for raising his hand and attempting that controversial and difficult topic. I know what it is to be in your shoes in a place that is being recorded, saying, trying to come up with something that will not be controversial. But good take. It's totally okay to keep quiet when you realize that I'm saying something which may not be appreciated later. But I think you did really well. I thank you for that attempt. Next, I would now like to call upon my 3 role players, starting with the timer, Toastmaster Rima. If you could please share your report.
Everyone qualified except our evaluator Toastmaster Ayush Daga, who took 3 minutes 44 seconds, and our table topic speaker 1, Toastmaster Bishmoy, who took 2 minutes 42 seconds. Thank you, and over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you very much, Toastmaster Rima, for that crisp report. Next, I would like to go to our counter, Toastmaster Shaburni, for her report.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Toastmaster Abhijit once said, like, and repetition was once. Toastmaster Bharat was fewer times and Toastmaster Bismay had fewer times and few times pauses. Toastmaster Ayush has multiple times and one time pause, and Toastmaster Krishnesh has fewer times pauses. Thank you.
Thank you.
Rest were flawless.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Toastmaster Saburni. Well done. And thank you for keeping a tab of reducing the count of my long pauses. No more hours. Next, we have our grammarian for the day, Toastmaster Anupam. If you could please share your report.
General Evaluator, sir. I would request all of you to please turn on your video and unmute yourself and repeat after me the word of the day.
Jabber.
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 So everyone has used the word of the day, and I couldn't find any mistake in the meeting. It was a great meeting. Thank you, General Evaluator, sir. Over to you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Anupam. In fact, to add to some good usages that caught my ear during the meeting was when, so feminism is a lie, that itself is a good phrase. Next, there was, I think when Toastmaster Seema was mentioning in her table topic attempt, she spoke about a nice phrase. It was, should I write it down? But yes, I think there was a lot of good usages that Toastmaster Anupam, if you could, next time when you take this role, if you could take note of that, even if you're not able to find them not so good, great usages, if you repeat what good you heard, that also works for all of us. Now coming to the overall evaluation of the meeting, we started on time. Thank you, Sergeant at Arms, for taking lead and ensuring we started on time. I would request you next time on to ensure that people start renaming themselves so that people know whom to call on next, and if there is a guest in the meeting, they know who is playing what role. You were able to explain the taboos, the energy level for someone who has low energy. There is no way I'm going to tell you that you had low energy. So it's absolutely fine. I'm sure this is just the first month of your Sergeant at Arms. I'm sure you'll do well as you progress. Next, we had the President, energetic start, and you had your announcements in place. It was wonderful that you recognized one of your members with a birthday song. Well done. And I love that you were able to take guest introductions and as well recognize some of the district leaders who were present. If you could figure out a way to quickly add the oath, because there was a returning member, as you say, it would have been great. Next, we come to the Toastmaster of the day. You had a fantastic theme. I love that you were able to explain the 3 sections of a Toastmasters meeting. You were able to handle transition handling. I saw that was really that you were able to manage it really well, especially relating how each section works into your theme. What you could do better is practice to figure out your content with the agenda. If you match it with that, then you'll know, how much time you're taking. I loved how you were able to ensure everybody uses the background that you came up with. Even now, if you look at it, everybody who has the camera on is using it. So fantastic effort. And then to finish it up, I was hoping to let everyone know that it is wonderful to see so much love and affection amongst all of you. There was hardly any side talk in the chat, but something that is equivalent to that is playing around with filters when the Toastmaster of the day or the speaker or the evaluator is speaking. It is also in a way distracting. So if we could keep that to a minimum or reduce it to 0, it would be great. All in all, I think we had a fantastic meeting. I thought with the number of people who have their videos on, the people who came in, I'm sure Sumit as a guest takes a wonderful experience back with him. That ends my session as the general evaluator, and I would like to hand the stage back over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Vijay, for his final stop. Toastmaster.
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Krish, for that comprehensive and crispy report. Now, I would like to call upon the President to take over the proceedings. That was my time with you. Thank you. And over to you, President Toastmaster Anurag.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Abhijit, for such a wonderful and joyous train journey that you took us on today. Thank you. Now, before I wrap up the session, I would request everybody to kindly please go on the voting link and vote for the best table topic speaker, best tag role player, and the best category 1 tag role player. Before that, can I ask guest Sumit to kindly unmute himself and share a bit feedback about how he liked the session?
Yeah, thank you so much, TM Anurag. I think the topic was of the day was very nice. It talks about journeys, and I think journey is not about seeing new places, but it's about seeing the same places with a new pair of eyes. So I think you really exemplified that in the meeting, and the topic was the entire meeting was well rounded. I really enjoyed it. Loads of humor, and it's my first online meeting that I've attended after attending offline meetings for many years ago. So thank you. I really enjoyed it, and I've spoken to a couple of representatives from your team, and they said that attend one meeting and then you can join. So I think that's done. So I'll get in touch with you as to how I need to join. So that's there.
Yeah, sure. Thank you, guest Sumit. We would love to have you as a part of VirtuoMasters Club.
Thank you. Thank you.
And keep coming to our meetings.
Sure.
Next, I would also request everybody to please come on video mode if possible, so that I can take a group picture. Can everybody please come on video mode? Anupam, Shruti, and Seema ma'am, if possible, in case. On the count of 3. 1, 2. Oh, don't message me right now, please. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, guys. I have taken the picture. And before I announce the results, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our division public relations manager, Toastmasters Seema, for being a part of today's meeting. Thank you, Toastmasters Seema, for gracing us with your presence after a really long time.
Thanks
Next,
for rubbing it, Mr.
yes.
President.
Thank you, Toastmasters Seema. I hope you enjoyed the session today after a long time.
Oh yes, it felt really good. Felt really good. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, I would also like to acknowledge the presence of our area director, Toastmasters Shashwat. Thank you again, Toastmasters Shashwat, for being present in our meeting today. And I know you joined us a bit late because you were a bit worried that we might give you a role to play. That's okay. I would also like to mention that we also had our division advisor, that is Distinguished Toastmaster Satyadeep, joining us for a few moments during the meeting, though right now he is not there. And we also had Toastmaster Sayan Banik, who is the Vice President Public Relations of SKTC, to join us for the meeting today. With this, I would like to announce the results. Finally, we have, okay, in the category of timer, counter, and grammarian, we have Toastmaster Rima as the best tag role player. Toastmaster Rima, congratulations. In the category of Toastmaster of the Day, General Evaluator, and Table Topic Master, we have Toastmaster of the Day, Toastmaster Abhijit, to be the best category 1 role player. And any guesses for the best table topic speaker? Do I need to announce that, or it is very obvious? Any guesses? Yes, it is
Toastmaster Dr. Rupesh.
Oh, Dr. Rupesh doesn't win because he did not add Shayari.
Okay.
Nice day.
So that is the reason why Toastmaster Shashwat, you won the best table topic speaker award today. Thank you. And now again, at the expense of repeating myself, tomorrow we have our joint meeting with SKTC and IMI and VirtuoMasters Club at 3 p.m. with the same link. Do join us tomorrow. Next week, we have our 125th meeting, which will be headed by our birthday girl, who is not there in the house right now. That is Toastmaster Shilpa. Please be there and grace us with your love and presence. Thank you, and I officially close the meeting for the day.